If you had a friend that spoke to you like you speak to yourself, how long would they be your friend? Honestly, my best friend and I talk so much shit to each other that if anyone heard us, they'd think we hated each other, but he's like my brother. Known him 18 years and talk every day even though we live in different states. Most conversations start with "hey motherfucker," or some variation. Are you kidding? They would be my best friend. Lol, I make myself laugh so hard sometimes. Not to mention I'm super caring and encouraging towards other people. It would be nice to have that kind of care directed at me for a change. Best friends. Not once have I negative self-talked in my life. I honestly feel like I can't. I don't understand the people who do, to be honest. I have literally tried to tell myself I was stupid or something. And after that I was like, this is so dumb, lol. I'm literally talking to myself, calling my own brain dumb. Doesn't make sense to me. I don't really speak to myself. But I do get a lot of what I call memory bullets where I cringe at relatively minor stuff I have done in the past. So I guess if friend kept randomly bringing up these things and making me feel bad for 10 seconds at a time, I'd probably punch him in the face. Lol. If I read this right, we won't be even friends. Talking to myself tends to be darker than what I show 100 times more. Especially the occasional thoughts of death and how people will react to my death. We might be fighting the first word he speaks. We'd be best friends. I will finally have found someone that doesn't sugarcoat how they view me. Finally found a person that sees me for the scarred, bitter, socially incompetent moron I am beneath the personas I wear. Maybe then, hearing it from the outside, I would be motivated to work on myself. Everyone I know is too nice. It's way too easy to stagnate. Date totally forget about the extra pope until today? The Nazi? Yes, that's right, I forgot about him until now. Extra pope sounds like a soft drink. There's an extra pope? With half the world already in the new year. What in your life or about yourself are you not changing in 2023? I'm making a concerted effort to quell my anxiety. Read a book a week. And get back into a healthy daily routine. I had a full-on year in 2022 with finishing my doctorate and was lucky enough to land a wonderful job. I'm very grateful to have the job of my dreams, and I wouldn't be here without the doctorate. But it set me on a very unhealthy path for a couple years. Time to write it. 2022 was a year of learning to advocate for myself and how to set boundaries with others and enforce those boundaries. It was also a year of putting my mental health first, quitting work and taking a break for the first time in 10 plus years. I finally found a therapist that I vibe with and have been taking my mental health and well-being very seriously. So none of that will change in the coming new year. Not changing my holistic therapy, future self-journaling, nor my diet. I am not changing my garden, nor my desire/plan to connect better with my children. My step goal is the same, as is the goals for my website and channel. Not changing where I live as much as I'd like to move south. Been doing the work in all those areas and it's nice to be settled on a clear path. Finally, there are only two, well, definitely one, maybe two, things I'm planning on changing this year. 1. I am absolutely determined to get rid of a sizable amount of my excess weight. I weigh almost double what I ought to. And 2. Assuming nothing goes wrong and everything works okay, I'm hoping to donate a kidney this year. Please note, I am only upset about my personal weight. This is not intended as judgment or criticism of anyone else's weight. Why homelessness is so common in the US. The US cares about rich people and corporations, which in the legal sense are also people, but not so much when it comes to poor people. Poor folks don't help pay into the ultra-capitalist nightmare corpocracy that we're stuck with, so they get no real help. It has to do a lot with the way the US deals with mental illness, healthcare, and drug addiction. Also, genuinely, there are homeless people that have given up on life and are okay with the life they live. I tried for years to get this one couple to join my local shelter where I volunteer sometimes, but they would constantly deny me. There was even one time the guy took me to the side and said, "Look, I appreciate you looking out for us and the things you give us, but we don't want to give up what we got to do what everyone else thinks is right." Mind you, this was a meth head. Those words were stamped in my brain because he made it sound like there was a loss if they rejoined society and ditched homelessness. Poor access to appropriate mental health care. Lack of appropriate inpatient treatment for people with severe mental health conditions. Constant political tug of war over social services resulting in underfunding. As far as cars, they lose value when you drive them off the lot. Many people owe more on their car loan than the car is worth. Selling it would be useless. And it's cheaper to live in a car than pay rent or a mortgage. Albeit a shitty way to live. I have quite a few friends now living in converted cars and vans. Some do handiwork, some work remotely, travel the nice weather and work and save money. I have a friend who is a single income family of 6. He makes about $80 a year. They save about an extra $15 a year by living in a fifth wheel RV. They are all paying off debt and accumulating wealth while living mobile. Who are you supposed to call when really weird SHT goes down? You'll need an old priest and a young priest. Greater than, but what if you walk into a room and a chair happens to be levitating in your room? Come back at a better time. The chair clearly needs its personal space. #X200B. Greater than turns out that a perfect duplicate. Files and all of your phone has manifested into existence? Figure out how the duplication works. Sell the duplicate phones for a profit. Greater than, or what if you're standing with your mate outside and he gets abducted by a UFO, or you get abducted then wake up with visible marks of surgery or some other unexplainable glitch takes place? Obviously. Die from some alien virus he picked up while on their spaceship. Call 911 or call a trusted friend who can help you determine if you need help. The odds of something impossible happening are zero. The odds of you randomly hallucinating, while unlikely, are non-zero. If there is a possibility that your ability to subjectively observe and interpret information is impaired, you want to find someone else who can observe the same situation. They can then help you determine what the problem is. In addition to the necessary step of finding a third party to help, you can also use a more objective tool to analyze the situation. You likely have a cell phone. So take a picture/video of what's going on to have an objective record of the situation. Alone? Ambulance. I'd assume I'm having a psychotic break and I'm a potential risk to myself and possibly others. It'd be absolutely terrifying. I've had visual and auditory hallucinations when I was sick with a high fever, and that was scary even though I knew what it was. If I was with someone else and we saw the same paranormal stuff at the same time, I'd GTFO. I've got enough to deal with without adding supernatural phenomena to the mix.